Hey, good people, how y'all doing? Today I'm going to be giving you all my review on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 13. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go. So I'm not going to be going in any particular order with this review, guys. I feel like nothing really happens until everyone goes to Jamaica. So I'm just going to give you guys what I felt with everybody. We see that Todd and Candy are discussing the fact that Todd is no longer drinking. Later in the episode, Todd reveals that he has been drinking at least 3 to 4 times a week. To be honest, he probably drinks a little bit more than that. He seemed unsure of how many times he used to drink per week, but I'm gonna just assume that he probably drank more than the 3 to 4 times a week. And it probably was causing some health issues. He mentions that he wants to detox his body. He's now going vegan. So when they actually do get to Jamaica, they're offering Todd a drink and Candy's right next to him and she's like, no, Todd, no, you shouldn't. And Todd is kind of contemplating whether or not he should drink. I thought that little part was pretty funny to me because Candy was like, no. Okay, so it looks like thus far he's sticking to the I'm not going to be drinking. We see that Sheree is gearing up for this fashion show, and if you guys remember from times past, Miss Sheree has put out stuff with no fashion. So it looks like she's really focused. I'm hoping that everything works out for her, but I really hope that she is prioritizing the actual product and not the production. You know, it's great that you want to do a fashion show, but make sure that your fashions are what they're supposed to be. Make sure they're all together. Make sure it's a full collection. Make sure from beginning to end you have everything that you need in that department. We know she could throw a party, but we clearly have yet to see how she's working with these fashions. Marlo is expecting to have her nephews back. I think that's great. Marlo, over the last couple of episodes, she seems really scared to get them back. I think because she's scared of failure. I'm hoping that now that she's seeing this therapist, she has better tools to handle her nephews and to handle parenting. And maybe because she's had them for so long before, she might be able to kind of understand what she's up against. I'm hoping for her. I don't know. So Kenya and Drew are on the phone with each other and they are bashing Sonya's party that she threw the other day for Sheree. And I mean, listen, yeah, the party was a little less than what we're used to seeing on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But when I thought about it, I'm like, Sonya is an athlete. She is a gold medalist. She's not domesticated, and that's okay. She's not a party planner. She's not a let me put this together type of girl, and that's okay because the bulk of her life she has dedicated to her art, which is track and field. And obviously she has succeeded in that. So I'm not going to knock her on that. I think that if she is here for another season and decides to throw another get together, it's going to be obviously much better. But I'm not really tripping on what she did because she don't really know. I mean, this is her first season. Let's cut her a little bit of a break. Kenya mentions to Drew that she's not sure if she's going to have a +1 for the trip because her cousin is sick. Drew goes into this thing where she's like, well, I just don't understand why Sonya's forcing everyone to bring a +1. And Kenya says in her confessional that happiness is not dependent on another person. She creates her own happiness. So I'm glad that Kenya is in that headspace because as they did show flashbacks of her and Walter, I forget the other dude. He was like I don't want to disrespect him and how I visualized it, but he was like a bit of a meathead. Y'all know who I'm talking about? His name is like right on the tip of my tongue. But she was with him, and then of course she married Mark, and those guys, they weren't the cream of the crop, clearly. But I felt like before her focus was really on trying to find a man and find happiness through the man, whereas now she's creating her own happiness with her and her daughter in this life that she is building. So kudos to Kenya for that. We do see later on in the episode when she arrives to Jamaica, she sees a guy who catches her eye. So she and Saya go and try to get some more information from this man. Like, are you with someone here? What's the deal? Turns out he's from England. He's there in Jamaica with his brother. I don't really know if it's just like they're on vacation or it's business or whatever, but they give him the information to come to the dinner later that night. I guess they're using the What's Up app because Sonya mentioned, do you have the What's Up Up app. And he's texting her and asking her questions and different things like that. He actually went up to her hotel room to pick her up for the dinner. And I'm like, Kenya, a couple of things here, sis. We're still in COVID, okay? Close proximity. I'm just saying, you don't really know if this man's been vaccinated. Secondly, he is all up in your hotel room. Now, granted, the cameras are there, so it's safe, but still, I think that I'm hoping that Kenya doesn't do this on a normal basis, because that's dangerous, you know? Drew and Ralph. So Ralph is writing this co-parenting book, and Drew is not really feeling it for more than one reason. Number one, he has declined to adopt her son, and I feel a certain type of ways about that. I feel like if Drew is your wife and she came with her son into the relationship and you decided you wanted to marry her, how come you're not adopting her son? It's, you know, I can't wrap my mind around that. Like, that's a package deal to me. His excuse is because the little boy's father, who's not present at all in his life, feels a certain type of way about Ralph adopting their son, which I don't even know if that's true, to be honest. Like, can we really trust what Ralph is saying? That he's decided that he didn't think it would be the right thing to adopt the son, whose name is Josiah. And he's saying that he's going to still take care of him. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. But just like you said you was going to adopt him, how can I trust that if something were to happen to me or we were no longer together, you're still going to be present in my son's life? Because I feel like now you really can't trust what the man says. He said initially he was going to adopt Josiah. Now he flipped the script. And I could see him saying, you know what, I'm not going to adopt him because his dad is in his life and his dad really has an issue with that and I don't want no problems. I could see that. But this man's not in his son's life and you're apparently the only father figure that he knows. So I'm not understanding what that's about. But he's writing this book, and Drew doesn't know nothing about what's going to be in the book. He has not revealed that to her. He said it's not the right time. Well, when is the right time? When you publish the book and it's out there? Because for her, she wants to know, is he bad-mouthing me in the book? Like, what is he saying in the book? And I think that's really sad, but I just don't understand these people in their marriages. Like, first we had Candy not sure if Todd is going to do right by her daughter if something were to happen to her. And now we have Drew not knowing if her husband is going to speak highly of her or speak bad of her in this book that he's writing. What kind of men are y'all married to? This is awful. Like, this is terrible. I just find it to be so weird that he's not sharing the book information. Like, he's not telling Drew what's in the book, but yet he also wants her to write the foreword. How is she going to write a foreword if she don't even know what you're putting in the book? And I feel like the foreword is honestly just to kind of shut her mouth up a little bit. That's not, I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't know. Like, what are they married for? What is it that she sees in him and what is it that he sees in her? Because he even was talking about her wig. It was too hot in the house apparently and he wanted to turn the air up and she didn't want the air being turned up and he's like, well, I don't want your wig to lift. What husband says that to their wife? Like, what? I just can't. I can't with them. I feel like Sonya, being that she's in control of this trip, she's coming across, and I noticed it the last episode, as very bossy. Yes, this is your trip and it's a business trip, but if you're so concerned about how these people are going to act on this trip, then maybe you shouldn't have invited them. It's just as simple as that. So I'm gonna need you to calm it down. These are grown adults and they know how to handle themselves. The group made it to Jamaica safely, thank God. So at the dinner, Sonya thinks it's such a great idea to ask Marlo how she's doing with her nephews. And my first thought when she did that was, Sonya, this is a group of people that Marlo has not shared this information with, okay? It's only a select few of you that she had. So why are you bringing this up at the dinner table right now? Seriously, this is the only thing that you can ask about? And Marlo's like, we're not going to talk about that right now. I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. And then Ralph starts to talk about how he's writing his co-parenting book, and he explained to everybody that he's not adopting Josiah. And Marlo took the most issue out of it because she has been adopted. She comes from the foster care system. And in her mind, Ralph should adopt Josiah because he's married to Drew. And, you know, the little boy's already living under his care. So how come he's not willing to adopt Josiah? So now Candy has something to say about it. This gets the party started. Candy is saying, Marlo, I don't understand why you're going so hard about Ralph not adopting Josiah when you kicked your nephews out. Like, that's weird to me. I understand Candy's point, but I also sympathize with Marlo in the sense that this is something that is clearly triggering to her, which is why she takes issue with it. We know Marlo is coming. Marlo starts to talk about how Candy takes care of Todd. She says that she thinks it's weird that Candy puts her mom before her husband. Marlo says that Candy is only known in Atlanta. Now, why does she go and say that? Because that pissed Candy off. Candy said, B, I'm worldwide. They playing my songs on karaoke in Japan. I said, I know that's right, Miss Candy Burris. Not only the songs that she sings, she says, but the songs that she wrote. See, everything was going good. Candy wasn't even offended about Marlo bringing up her mother, which honestly, she never should have brought up Mama Joyce. Like, that right there. Don't bring up my mama. Don't sit here and talk about my husband who's right here and try to make it seem like he don't got nothing. She was calm during all of that, but once Marlo tried to come for who she is and how she's made her living, Candy was not having it. Todd had piped in earlier and was like, you know what, Marlo, you talking stuff that you know is not the truth. He knows because he was a producer how Marlo even got on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And according to Todd, Marlo brought her way in. She wasn't friends with near none of the castmates, and Marlo was like, I came in through Phaedra. I didn't really even know that Phaedra and Marlo was cool like that. I thought Nene brought Marlo in. But anywho, Todd is like, nah, you brought your way in. So pretty much the episode is over at this point. Candy is pissed, and Sonya is trying to keep control of this group for her trip, because this is all also, like she said, a business trip for her. Her theme is, I want everybody to be on their best behavior. I don't know what Marlo's issue is with Candy. I really don't understand it. And I think it goes past just Candy being friends with Kenya, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe Marlo's like, listen, I can't get on Kenya's skin, so I'm gonna come for you. And let's be real, she was really poking Candy, like I said earlier, with her bringing up the whole Mama Joyce and then talking about Todd. You know, when you start bringing up stuff like that, you trying, you reaching, and even Candy recognized, like, she's trying to get me riled up. And I'll say that Marlo succeeded when she started talking about Candy's career and what she's known for. I also want to point out that from a viewer standpoint, some of the stuff Marlo was saying about Candy and Todd, like what we've seen in times past, okay, it makes sense. Still to this day, even the producers on the show tried to diminish Todd. You remember last episode, they had put up that whole slide where it was like Candy's assets are basically all of this and Todd just has the one asset. So people are always dogging out Todd, making it seem like he doesn't have nothing. But I mean, listen, if Candy want to take care of her man, if that's what's going on, that's their business. That's what makes their relationship work, okay? The whole thing with Marlo talking about Mama Joyce, Candy puts Mama Joyce over Todd. We have seen that. I mean, where is the lie? But the problem is, Marlo, those are things that you have no business talking about. Like, why are you bringing this up? It's not just kids are off limits, but Candy's mother didn't sign up to be on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and neither did Todd. So keep their name out your mouth. Just focus on Candy. Leave the others out of it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know who you're rocking with on this episode. I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye. But yeah, guys, you guys tell me what you think. Are you Team Marlo or Team Candy? I'm assuming people are all Team Candy, and I ain't even mad at you.